I'd like to have a conversation with commissioners regarding what your feelings about this are. We have almost no leeway here. This is a project that they can do as of right. I fear, frankly, that if we were to turn it down, that all we would be doing is delaying and costing the city unnecessary expense. I'd also say that we're not in a position, given the language of the agenda tonight, to approve it. We can certainly put language in the agenda for our next meeting, which is the 17th, to approve it. But the language here simply says preliminary review. So I don't think that we can approve it. The only question, I think, to the rest of the commission is whether you want to hold a public hearing on this, given the fact that we have almost no leeway in terms of how we act on it. But I would like to hear from the other commissioners, particularly regarding that issue.
My feeling about that is that since we have absolutely no leeway, and there's no question that this project complies with the regulations, if we have a public hearing, it just exacerbates the frustration of neighbors who are upset about the previous plan. That feeling is overwashing into this new plan, I think. And if it's just done, that'll dissipate. If we have another public hearing, people will spend all this time preparing for the public hearing, testifying. It just makes it more and more and more intense. Opposition that we can do nothing to satisfy. So that's my opinion. I think a public hearing would not be a good idea.
Thank you, Galen. Josh, did you want to say something?
Sure. I think that Galen is mostly right in that obviously there isn't a lot of leeway here. We are confined by the circumstances. And even if you look at, I was looking at some of the letters earlier today from the East Norwalk Neighborhood Association and some other residents who basically say as much, regarding that the developer seems to have complied with the zoning, the zoning constraints here. Well, not constraints, the regulations. On the other hand, I disagree about the remedy, and the only reason I think there should be a public hearing is because I think people's voices are important, and I think that people should, if they have the opportunity to at least say what they want to say, that it's in the record and that it, is something that the developer hears, and as the process moves further down the road, that the developer can work with the community and who knows what can come of it. I think that we should, even though it seems the outcome here, I think is not, I don't think there's really that much doubt as to the outcome. I do think that public input is important. And so I would support a public hearing.
Feedback from other commissioners?
I'm split between Galen and Josh. I think both of those positions have serious merit. I kind of feel like if we do require a public hearing, I don't know. I'll go either way.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very torn too, in the same sense, and also the thing that may sway me to the not have the public hearing is we can't really do anything about it. So no matter what they say, it's going to be a bunch of okay, not head nods, and I don't know how productive that is.
So I'm kind of leaning towards Josh, where we all know the project is going to move forward, but to hear public opinion, maybe there's an idea that the developer hasn't heard yet that would like to incorporate it. For that slight possibility that it exists, another 2 more weeks I don't think is going to heard anything.
Michael?
I have no problem if we have a public hearing to listen to the public and see what they say.
I'm torn, as several of you are. I lean slightly toward not holding the public hearing based on what Galen said, raising false hopes among the neighborhood residents that they will somehow be able to prevail in a situation where we really don't have a choice. But it is difficult. I'd welcome a motion either to move forward with a public hearing or not to move forward with a public hearing, and let's see where we end up.
I'll make a motion in support of a public hearing.
Okay, is there a second to that
Second.
motion? Okay, so Josh made the motion, Frank seconded. Steve, let's do a roll call.
Sure. Mr. Goldstein? So sorry, in favor, I'm assuming the vote is in favor of the motion.
Yes.
So Mr. Goldstein
Yes, I'm voting in support of a public hearing.
and Mr. Witherspoon,
Yes,
Mr. Mancini,
Yes.
Ms. Wells,
I don't know. I'll abstain because I'm not violently opposed to a public hearing, but I just think it'll exacerbate the discontent. So
Mr. Roina,
No,
Mr. Cantor,
No.
Mr. Schulman.
No,
Okay, so you had 3, 4, 3 against and 1 abstention. So I don't think the motion carries.
I can vote no. Can I change my vote?
yes,
Because that's what I really intended. I just didn't want to
Okay.
be.
okay. Then we'll close this out and we'll take action at our meeting on the 17th. In the meantime, if there are still unresolved issues between the developer and the neighborhood, I would simply ask that the developer listen to the comments of the neighbors and do what they can to accommodate them within the parameters of the development they're undertaking. I mean, I understand that there are limits to what you can do. Now, some people want this to be a park. It simply is not going to be a park. No one can dictate that this is privately owned property, and we can't force the owner to do something like that.